And Anna said, let's go sit out on the front steps, which weren't very wide, but they're maybe it's not shoulder to shoulder anyhow. She said, let me tell you a story. Of course, that was why I was there. She said I was born blind due to a disease that my parents had. Gonorrhea is what it's called. And none of the kids liked me. I was a messy eater, fell into a fire, stumbled around. I just couldn't cope with this blindness of mine. I was feeling so bad one day that I was sitting on the shore of a lake, brushing off my arms and my legs off mosquitoes that were there. And then suddenly there was this voice from out the lake said, Anna, walk out here and get on my back. Wait out here and get on my back. So she waded out, bumped into this huge bunch of feathers and discerned it was a bird and climbed on its back and started paddling away from shore. She could feel his feet moving she was up between her legs straddling on his back. And she realized that this was a dumb thing to do. Because suddenly it dove into the water, came back up right away, and the voice said, inside her head, the same voice that told her to get on the back of this bird, said, Anna, can you see yourself? She said, well, I'm interesting voice. I can't see myself. I'm blind. Under the water again. A bit longer this time. And when the bird came back up, and the voice inside her head said, Anna, can you see yourself? She was trying, she couldn't answer. Third time she was so she could hardly breathe when the thing came back up. And she was gasping for air when the voice said, can you see yourself? And under for the fourth time. And down deep, she said, so deep my feet tangled in the water weeds in the bottom of the lake. She said, you know about when you're about to die, your whole life passes in front of you. She said, my whole life passed in front of me. And so when the bird finally came up to the surface, and the voice said, Anna, can you see yourself? I gasped for air. And I said, yes, I can see myself. So the bird took me to shore. I got off, went back to the village, and I walked right in my parents' tent. I ate food without spilling, I changed my clothes, ate food without spilling on my dress, and was able to do everything. But the kids still didn't like me. My parents don't know what to do with me now. But the old woman, they took me under their hands and they said, now what we want you to do is learn how to walk through the woods. Those nights when it's totally dark and there is no moon, and sniff out the herbs that we need for medicine. And others taught her how to make the medicine to use to heal people. There's a society up there that does this. But she didn't like any of that. She decided what her skill was to listen to people. Just go and not bring medicine, or just go and listen. She said people want to talk and be understood. She said everybody's talking at you, nobody's listening to you. She said I'm a listener, and she went and she listened to people all across Canada. Traveled on the train, traveled by bus. I could see her in Port Arthur. She was just very confident walking, getting on public transportation, and off she would go. That night, or that next day, when I was leaving the cabin, after she told me the story, Paul, he went out first, my buddy, and as I was going out the door, she grabbed me by the shoulder and she said, now, listen, kid, she probably said, because she was an older woman and I was young. And then, now listen, if you ever want to be listened to, you come and find me and I'll listen to you. She said, I'll always be here. You want to be listened to, I'll always be here, right here in this cabin. It was true. I would sometimes be up there and just all of a sudden decide maybe I should go talk to Anna. And I'd go and she'd be there. So I'd say what I had to say, but then she would talk, and as a healer, she would have these amazing stories from all over Canada, all over North America probably, traditional tales that she would tell me. She wouldn't let me write anything down. She said, now just remember this. And she'd tell me these stories that I never heard before. She was not very discreet as to what tribe they came from. They're mostly Native American stories, although a lot of them were stories about the immigrants, Swedes, Norwegians, Finlanders. I told her. She said, once I even traveled across the ocean and listened to a queen. We figured it had to be Victoria. But she didn't know. She didn't care, queen. But person on the street, she just listened. So I have all these stories that she told me. And I've looked in books and discovered that most of the stories that she told me, I can identify the tribe and the culture that they came from, so then I can retell those stories because I can put them into context. But most importantly, whenever I feel like I need to be listened to, she's been dead a long time. She does, whenever I feel like I've been listened to, it seems like I can still go back into her presence and see myself through her blind eyes. She never did regain her eyesight, she got insight. That's what the Loon gave her underwater when she was just a kid.